play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bomb stats, Dingo gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jay-Zon, and we've got a heroic division match coming up for you guys here. Dread Pirates versus Probe 1. And these guys are ready to go in lobby already with Volskaya Foundry as our first map. I'm going to let them know I'm ready to go. And we'll get you guys in for this match as soon as we can get it rolling. I apologize that my camera is on the fritz. I was a little bit rushed after coming home from work, so I didn't really have time to figure it out. But that's alright. We'll make do. And I know you guys mainly here to watch the match anyway. So thank you everyone for showing up tonight, taking a look at what we're doing. And here we go. Right on time. We got game number 1 here on a busy Thursday night in the Nexus Gaming Series. As Dread Pirates are going to be coming out here with first pick, first ban, Probe 1, selecting Volskaya Foundry for our first match here. Both these teams, right around the middle of the pack in Heroic Division this season. Dread Pirates 7 and 8 on the season. Probe 1 7 and 8 on the season. So should be a fairly even matchup. Of course, Dread Pirates, the Season 6 A Division Grand Champions. So worth noting that we've got a championship team in the house. So they did take the step up into Heroic this season and have obviously, taken some wins and some losses this season and are hanging around the mid. Same with Probe 1. And so we're going to see a couple of pretty common bans. ETC coming up in the meta, and nobody wants to play against New Girl right now. That has been a perma ban in the Nexus ever since she came on in. So no big surprise there. And just looking at the standings, Probe 1 in 9th place, Dread Pirates, well actually they're all tied for 8th with Amazing, so realistically, Amazing with one less game to play, but this is basically where we're seeing the playoff bubble. So, this is a good opportunity for these teams, for one of these teams to get a leg up on the other. So big match here tonight. Very important for Heroic Division playoff implications as we head in towards the last couple of weeks of the season. But we'll see the Sylve banned out by Dread Pirates. Very, very good map for Sylve. Good wave clear contributions, but mainly that Merc Queen can be very, very strong and difficult to deal with, along with those turrets. Meanwhile, Alarak banned out for Probe 1, and we're going to see the first pick Chen here over on the side of Dread Pirates. Instantly going for that solo laner. Chen, of course, very strong in the meta currently after his rework and then subsequent buff thereafter in the next balance patch, but I've been seeing it more and more. That Earth, Wind, and Fire, very good for diving. So it kind of lets on to what you're going for. And Probe 1 says, "I see your dive coming, Dread Pirates. I will counter it with some dive of my own." As a Nubarak comes out, and we're gonna see Mal'Ganis Abathur coming out now from Dread Pirates. Of course, Abathur with the Chen hat, oof, I got that backwards. Chen with the Abathur hat can be very, very difficult to deal with. And I'm the guy who's got a profile picture with the symbiote hat. You'd think I'd be able to get that one right. Though I do think a Chen hat is something we should invent, so we should get Blizzard on that. Either way, it can be very difficult to deal with in that solo lane. Chen so mobile, so difficult to deal with, much like an Illidan. But the Illidan going to be banned out all the same, just to make sure that Dread Pirates can't go full dive mode onto the Tyrande. Worth noting that we have seen the combination of Mal'Ganis with Abathur as well, which can be pretty strong. Mal'Ganis pretty good at sustaining in that front line overall, so the Abathur just makes him a little bit better at that, and allows for him to float around and really, be a nuisance to that front line. But meanwhile, Dread Pirate's going to go ahead and take away the Jaina. A good solid damage follow-up to the Anubarak Tyrande combos. All that CC. Well, I like that. But we are going to see even more CC potential coming out with the Kerrigan and the Nazeebo. I don't see a whole lot of Nazeebo nowadays. But very interested to see him and how he performs here tonight in NGS action. So 2 more picks coming up for Dread Pirates. Have to see how they want to close out their draft here for game number 1. They're going to go with Rhaegar for the healer and Gul'dan for the damage. Orc Boy is coming out to close things out. Gul'dan, of course, very good sustained damage. Can deal a pretty decent amount of damage from a fairly safe position. He's not the longest range mage in the game, but can definitely play patiently. Meanwhile, Rhaegar, very good camp taker. More burst healy, which, especially with the cleanse at 7, one of the only healers that still have that cleanse, can help counter the CC combo that we see coming out from Probe 1. And the Tychus going to be finishing this up, again, with that CC combo. He's got pretty good burst damage to follow it up. A lot of people look at Tychus as a sustained damage dealer, and that is kind of the role he fills, but when he's able to pop in with that minigun on a CC'd target, it looks a lot more like burst damage in that moment than sustained damage. But either way, let's get on into game number 1 here in the Heroic Division. Volskaya Foundry, a map that we've seen be more and more prominent ever since it released. It's gained traction in amateur play, and very popular just for the simple mechanics. Though, on a personal note, one of my least favorite maps, just simply because of the map timings. There's so much downtime between these objectives, but either way, let's get on in for game number 1. On the left, we've got the Dread Pirates. We've got MF Princes going to be on the Rhaegar. We've got Decorus playing the Gul'dan. We've got the Lurker on the Mal'Ganis. Sir Stiggles going to be playing Abathur. And down bot, we got Bat Mary going to be on the Chen. And on the right, we've got Probe 1. We've got MSB Christie going to be playing the Anubarak. We've got Really playing the Tychus. We've got Zaddle playing the Nazeebo. We've got I'm sorry guys, I'm having trouble reading your names. Perfection on the Tyrande, and I'm gonna have to cheat for the last one. Dividakos playing the Kerrigan. Meanwhile, combo's coming out right away. 2-man combo from the Kerrigan here. Be dealing a nice amount of damage to the Mal'Ganis. He's going to have to back up for the moment. And we will get the rotation game going. I'll tell you what, guys. You move that monitor just a little bit further away, and suddenly reading all those little letters becomes a little harder. But Sleep and Stun coming out on to Crystal. Decent amount of damage onto the Anubarak, but the Burrow Charge was there to get away. Rotation down to mid. Have Decorus backing up to get out of dodge there. Right now, Probe 1 definitely winning the rotation game early. Right now, Dread Pirates are just kind of sitting in the counter position, trying to get away from that. But the Owl does scout out that Dread Pirates is on this camp, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Good burn potential there. Meanwhile, we see them answering that on the other side from Probe 1. Neither team electing to try and counter push that at all, or counter invade, I should say, in those rotations. Meanwhile, Zebo getting a pretty good start on these stacks here early. Oh, and the big kill down bot here. Chen gets ganked by the gank squad. Red Pirates trying to take that opportunity to actually take the camp up top, but a little bit too slow to clear it. Probe 1 makes it up here easily in time. And this is kind of what Red Pirates need to watch out for here. Probe 1 wants to fight. They've got a very good CC and gank comp. And they're going to be able to dominate this early game. So Dread Pirates not going to be able to enforce their agenda as they would like. Until they, possibly even until 10, really. You know, Kerrigan really excels in that pre-10 game strategy, where especially a comp with Abathur does not. So they may not be able to really contest much until level 10. You see Anubarak just kind of stubbornly staying on the point, but does get put to sleep. Has to use the burrow charge to get out. And camp will be taken in the top lane. Anubarak's going to have to go all the way back at this point. Solo laner staying down here on the bot. Some back and forth action. And meanwhile up top, Probe 1 going to try and take a little bit of an advantage here in the push game. While we do see the charge continuing for Dread Pirates. They are up over 60% now. But all 5 are here, and DeLurker says no thank you. It's going to charge out of there. They're going to go ahead and grab their own camp and look to clear top here. They've got plenty of charge to be able to make this happen. They at least want to get level 7 before they look to engage and try and contest here. But looks like for right now, Probe 1 is content to keep all 5 here ready to go. Trying to get the CC chain started on Bat Mary, but that's a double miss on the stun. Sleep in response. They actually get the sleep all the way down to the Kerrigan on the point. Jump in, and the big cleanse coming out onto Gul'dan to counter that combo. And they're still going in all the way in. And Gul'dan ends up going down, actually. So it is a 1-for-1. They exchange the Kerrigan for the Gul'dan. Not necessarily a bad trade for Probe 1 when you're already a body up and you have overtime being procced here. And there it is. Dread Pirates going to have to back away. And Probe 1 doing what they should do with this combination of comps on the field. They win the first objective. And gain just a little bit of a level lead there. Nothing really to write home about, but it will have about a half-level lead here in the race to 10. And now we're going to start working up here on this top lane. They are looking to try and get that well, mainly. About half health still on the Protector. Being burned down pretty nicely by Dread Pirates, actually. But the front wall will go down, and the well is going to go down shortly after. The Lurker are going to have to back away. And the well and the Protector go down pretty much at the same time. Meanwhile, again, charge not quite on the mark. The Lurker going to do the sleep charge on out, but Bat Mary's on the flank. They're coming after this. It is a 5v4, and the Lurker is pretty deep in there with almost no health, but is able to jump on out. And for now, both sides will go ahead and keep everybody alive. Sir Stiggles doing what he can down here to get some soak. Gotta look out, Reilly's in town. I don't think Reilly can do that by himself, though, even against an Abathur. You saw Crystal looking for it. You Meanwhile, big stun chain coming out on the other side. Trying to get a Nubarak down and does manage to get it. The 3-man stun from the Lurker. But not going to be enough to follow it up. But it does get them 10 on the heels of that. And now they're going to be able to get this support camp. No problem. This time around, no invasion here. In fact, they can maybe even look to try and invade elsewhere with a Nubarak just coming up. And, ooh, look out, Nazebo getting super low. Now, poison damage was coming down, and now, with Nazebo having to go back, this is a good opportunity for Dread Pirates to invade. They know it. They're going to get in. Burrow Charge still available, does get popped, will get Nubarak out. Meanwhile, we will see, look at Bat Mary diving in on the backside. And Sir Stiggles is deep in there, too. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that was the clone. That was the clone. False alarm. For a second there, I thought it was crazy, but then I forgot it was an outer. We do see the Horrify coming out, though, on to Kerrigan. Divid's going to have to get out of here. And we do see the Odin pop, so really kind of backing up right now. Almost no health for a Nubarak there. The sleep and the dive in, but nice CC combo in return. Really just kind of wailing away with that Odin. Now Ganis is going to go down. And now really pops out of the Odin and is on the chase here. Kerrigan falls and Chen. So a bit of a bloodbath here right as the next control points come up. Look at all the low health bars for the side of Probe 1. Now that's kind of the problem, I feel like, a lot of times when you see the Chen on the front line as that second, frontliner. Other than when he's got his ult up, he doesn't really bring the CC. That lockdown that you really need to secure targets. The Probe 1 just kind of backing out one at a time as they get low. Dread Pirates having a little bit of a hard time securing kills, at least in that team fight. We did eventually get the Kerrigan, but Heroics now out for both sides as we're going to charge in and a Nubarak will have to charge out. 26% charged, but now it'll be Dread Pirates that takes it over. They've got the camp pushing up in top, but the camp from Probe 1 now showing up. Meanwhile, we do see both teams getting ready to commit to this. You have most of the ults up on each side. No Ancestral right now for Dread Pirates, and Sir Stiggles just popped that Evo. So now with no Evo here, this is a big opportunity for Probe 1. And they know it. They're coming into force. Web Wrap goes down onto the Mal'Ganis. Odin popped on the backside. Big stuns. Starfall coming in. Earth, Wind, and Fire locking down a few, though. And just like that, a Nubarak getting uber low, but can they get the finish? There it is. The Lurker with the hat. And now it's going after Nazebo on the belt. Going the wrong way. And now it's really that's kind of out of position here. Is able to get out with that Odin armor. But now it's Dread Pirates winning, doing what they're supposed to do in this comp position, post 10, which is winning the Punisher. Even with, that's particularly impressive without the use of Evo, that they were able to do that. Now pushing in the top lane. You're going to be able to push through this top keep and be the first to spawn the periodic catapults. For Stiggles. Soaking down in the bot lane. Getting that extra Abathur value that you just love to see. While the Protector getting pretty low here. We'll have to back out for the moment, but Sir Stiggles gonna go ahead and pop Evo. They're really just using it for Siege right now. I kind of like it. It's not the longest cooldown in the world, but it's still a pretty significant cooldown. But it's like I said earlier, we all know the big thing about this map is how long until the next objective is up. So they'll definitely have Evo available for the next time they really need to force a fight. But two members in the Protector, as it comes down, the Lurker are going to go ahead and zone there with that sleep. we'll be able to get everybody out safe. This is when Probe 1 really needs to make something happen here. Dread Pirates still almost a full level away from those 16 talents. This game is going to get harder and harder for Probe 1 to win as it gets into those later talent tiers. And right now, Dread Pirates is giving them the fight that they want. No Evo available here. Or is it? It actually says it's not on cooldown. No, there it is. Okay. So I was wondering what was going on there. Meanwhile, Dread Pirate's going to try to start this, but here comes Probe 1. And again, they're going to force here. This is a good opportunity for them to try to force Dread Pirates to fight him. The Lurker actually comes in. The Nubarak's so low here. They're still going to have to burrow charge away. Dread Pirates will get started on this again, but now they have 16. And that means Probe 1 is not even going to attempt to get anything done here. Sir Stiggles back into Gul'dan on steroids mode. He's going to go down to the bot lane and find himself an Anubarak on the way. And that big beetle. That time it will go down. I like the side of Dread Pirates, making sure to protect where Sir Stiggles was going to come out of that Evo. Making sure that there were going to be no shenanigans there from really. Meanwhile, nice move there by Dread Pirates. That's kind of a subtle thing, but they get through the front wall and they get the well. Excuse me. A really nice moment for them. Using that 16 advantage to the fullest. Now 16 is going to be coming in soon for Probe 1. They'll definitely have it for Control Point C. They'll have the opportunity to try to engage this. Well, up top, we see Dread Pirates clearing away. And there is the ding. Worth noting that Nazebo, 198 stacks here. Definitely has enough for that level 20. Probe 1. And look to see if they can find anybody caught out here. Finds Rhaegar kind of out of position, but it is under the towers. Meanwhile, we do see Evo popped, and here we go. The big fight, the charge in on to Rhaegar on the backside. But the big story is Kerrigan going down first here. So much damage coming in from the double Gul'dan. The dive in now from Chen with the Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Nubarak goes down. Tyrande goes down. And just like that, Dread Pirates getting everything they were looking for out of their comp. A 3-for-0 exchange. They've got the camp pushing in top. They've got Abathur on the point, because he's safe enough to do that. And they got the 4-man able to push here with only 2 in defense. We're going to go ahead and steal the camp. But that's not going to stop Gul'dan from pushing the lane. Top, the camp starting to become a problem with the 1 catapult with it. So really going to go clean that up. Double camp now being taken for Dread Pirates. Chen kind of hanging out just as security here for Sir Stiggles. Maybe get him in a different lane before this heats up. Because we do know that Probe 1's going to have one more shot at this if they rotate down in time. Looks like a Nubarak might be looking at that, but yeah, never mind. With really so far away, that is not going to happen. So we will see the Punisher coming out for the side of Dread Pirates. This should be a good window to get them to 20 as well. So this is a big win for Dread Pirates. It'll really allow them to control the next phase of this game if they aren't able to finish it here. I think in this situation, you are looking for at least 1 keep, if not multiple keeps, and if you get a couple kills, you can snowball this into a full-on win. Ultimate Evo does appear to be available. We'll see the turret being placed down nice and early to counter the Gargantuan. Odin popped on the backside, really kind of low already on health, but now we got mech-on-mech violence here. As it is shooting down the Protector pretty well. But for right now, Abathur up in the top lane trying to support that wave a little bit. All the waves are pushing in. And Dread Pirates is going to go ahead and rotate to the mid to get a little bit of extra damage on that. But they are trapped here. So they're going to go ahead and back up before we see the Punisher expire on health. And Sir Stiggles, again, trying to push a little bit up here in the top. Getting a little bit of work done. Level 20 now in. That's the burrow away there for Abathur back to that mid lane. I'll open up the front wall a little bit. Just trying to use those ranged attacks. Trying to get every second out of this Protector. Got a long, long range if you're patient. A lot of frog damage coming in onto the Lurker. Now, they have 20, so right now Dread Pirates is just kind of daring Probe 1 to come out and defend. They're even going to go ahead and throw down another turret to soak this. Starfall goes down in an attempt to defense here. Way in deep is Delurker, zoning very well, and that's going to be the second keep of the game for Dread Pirates. The walls appear to be closing in on Probe 1 for the moment. And look at this, rotation right to the mid. Dread Pirates with a relentless assault here. This is, again, double Gul'dan, a lot of extra siege damage coming out here. That Mary is in pretty deep, but not too worried about it. As they go for the third and final keep. They get it almost all the way down. Without any kind of wave and with all 5 members here. We'll back away and let them just go back to get the camp. Right now, Dread Pirates just playing this textbook. It's very simple, clean rotations. Just very, very decisive. And this time they're going to all in for the keep and get it very quickly. That's just a lot of siege damage. Odin popped in an attempt to defend, but they pretty much killed it in the time it took for Odin to come down. Level 20s are going to be coming in soon for Probe 1, but you just look at the structure advantage, and it's such a long climb up hill right now for Probe 1. They gotta win multiple team fights. They definitely need the next objective. Here's the first part of it, at least. They're gonna get that level 20. While camp grabbed on the other side. Definitely doesn't hurt Dread Pirates that they have a multiple item advantage going into this next fight, wherever it may be. Constant pressure on all the lanes. But let's not discount the late game Nazebo. 282 stacks. Horrify also not quite finding its target there. So we will see that big heroic being down for whatever this next fight is going to end up being. But they got to make it fast here. These lanes are already starting to form on the outside. Probe 1 knows it, and they're trying to force in. Delurker goes to the backside, though, gets a big stun. Big root follow-up. Multiple members going to go down here for Probe 1. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the end. Big execution moment there for Dread Pirates. Huge Earth, Wind, and Fire to follow up that stun from Delurker. Kerrigan will fall. And Dread Pirates completing what I would describe as a complete game here on the map of choice for Probe 1. And taking game 1 here on Volskaya Foundry. Go on over to our match summary here. Brought to you by NGS. Let's not forget to give Dread Pirates their point for the evening. It was very well executed dive comp. Probe 1. Oh man, all the zeros. Every zero in the game. I was going to look at some of these stats, but you know, hey, we can do a match summary without stats, right? Gotta figure out what this bug is. But either way, Probe 1 had kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a disjointed comp. You know, I'm not going to pretend to be as good as any of these heroic players, but just from my point of view, you've got like early game, Anubarak, you know, Kerrigan's CC combo, kind of paired with the late game Nazebo style. I think you know, looking at the comp from Dread Pirates, especially with that Abathur, if you're Probe 1 and you were going to win this game, it was probably going to be early, which is admittedly difficult to do on Volskaya. It's kind of a hard map to win fast on. But Dread Pirates, meanwhile, just committing to the full breadth of that dive style. And they were able to execute it well throughout the game. But Probe 1 did do a little bit of what they were wanting to do with their draft. They did win the first objective and went a little bit early, but just not quite hard enough to secure the game in their favor in that aspect. Either way, we will move on in to game number 2. And if you hear anything extra, that's because Ysera has joined me here on the cast and is very interested in what's going on with the microphone. Alrighty. I'll have to check out exactly what might be going on here for game number 2. Check in with our captains. And we will be back in just a moment here with our next match. I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock, but we'll just get it started when we go into the next draft. And we'll see ya for game number 2. Alright, and we go for game number 2. Red Pirates up 1-0 here over Probe 1. After taking game 1 on Volskaya Foundry, Probe 1 electing for map pick, and gonna take us to Dragonshire. Another very rotation-heavy map, very macro-oriented, much like what we see on Volskaya. Red Pirate's gonna go back to that Sylve ban, and again, new girl gonna be banned out here. I'll learn her name someday, folks. Q something. But either way, Red Pirates, very, very impressive game number 1. Let's see if Probe 1 has any adjustments to make here for this matchup. As much as this map does share some similarities in the macro-oriented play, as Volskaya, it's very different in terms of how the map objective works, of course. Constantly rotating for these shrines. So easily to block on either side or in the mid, just on the cap. But there's your big adjustment to start off. We see the Abathur banned out by Probe 1. I don't want to see that again. So it's not the most popular Abathur map, but it's certainly a map where we do occasionally see Abathur play. Chen going to be first picked once again for Dread Pirates, so that Mary making sure to get back on to the Chen. It was very influential in their game number 1 victory.
We will forge.
Varian going to be coming out, along with the Johannes. A very frontline heavy start here. Really for this whole draft, but mainly here for Probe 1. And Falstad going to be the response here. So a bit of a, almost what you would think of as like a double solo lane kind of setup here. And Mal'Ganis going to be coming out once again for Delurker. Falstad's so good on this map, though. Not only with his ability to fly around the map and, of course, influence the objective so much, but also, we've seen a lot of the bribe stack lightning rod style build, which really helps you in the macro play on this map to be able to get those camps a little quicker on occasion. And I'm going to be banned out for the side of Probe 1. Red Pirates now with their third and final ban available. We'll have to see if they want to target anything in particular, or just want to stick with what they've been banning throughout the game. And the Lunara going to be banned out. Very interesting. Gotta wonder if that's a foreshadowing of what Dread Pirates might want to pick for their healer. You might see something like an Anduin or particularly an Uther get pretty well countered by what Lunara brings to the table. Gotta see if maybe Probe 1 wants to make any big adjustments there. Gul'dan serving a similar function. And this time the Jaina makes it through, which was the ban from Dread Pirates last game. Though admittedly, Jaina, I think, not going to be quite as effective in this comp as it would have been in the last one. Her burst damage still very good, but not as much CC follow-up to set up that damage. Still very good wave clear, very good camp taker. And so they will be going back to the Gul'dan, and this time I'm going to pair it with the Ariel. It's a little bit more passive than the Rhaegar. Definitely a lot less camp-taking ability, but a lot more sustained healing. And I think that's going to be big here for Dread Pirates. Also, Mal'Ganis, one of the better ones to set up the Ariel whip with that sleep. Makes it very easy to hit that angle. And the Zarya coming out here for Probe 1, so a little bit of extra sustain on their end. And also a little pushing power. We see the Zarya typically come out in these comps where you're trying to get some extra sieging power and you know, stubbornly put pressure in one lane and not relent. So should be interested to see how they utilize that, because typically that's put in with a lot of, you know, AA siege damage, which Probe 1 does not have, in the with the possible exception of maybe a Twin Blades variant, but we'll see. Well, but you know, you would expect variant, of course, to be in the solo, so I'll be interested to see what Probe 1 is looking to do here. All right, well, let's get on into game number 2. We're on Dragonshire. On the left, we have Dread Pirates. We've got Sir Stiggles on the Falstad. We've got Decorus going to be playing the Gul'dan. Batmary going to be on the Chen. MF Princes going to be on the Ariel. Now we've got Delurker back once again on the Mal'Ganis. On the right, we've got Probe 1. We've got Perfection on the Anduin. Really going to be playing the Zarya. MSB Crystal going to be playing the Johanna. We've got Zalti going to be on the Gul'dan. No, not the Gul'dan. That's Jaina. Oof. Gul'dan's on the other side. We've got Deville going to be playing the Varian. So this time around, we got early big damage onto Delurker. Delurker's going to have to try to walk away here. But full hope bar there for Princes. So had plenty of opportunity to get the heal out. But now, look out. Gul'dan taking a ton of damage, and that Blizzard going to finish it off. Mal'Ganis falls with it, and there is Probe 1 with the early double kill to get this started. Very well executed combo. And very nicely done overall. Quick rotation to the bot. They'll get a bit of an advantage here in the wave clear game as their main prize for that early team fight win. But they'll get a little bit done here in mid as well. A little extra pressure on the Sir Stiggles and company. Camp's going to be started on both sides. Though Probe 1 going to be a little bit quicker with the people they've thrown at it, particularly the Jaina. Right now, Zalti pretty low on mana. Up top, we've got Batmary going up against David.
Inherit the Dragon Knight's power and lay waste to this forsaken kingdom.
So Camp's going to be pushing down here in the bot. Got both sides kind of looking to get on point here in the bot. So Dread Pirates, the ones to actually step in first to get there. Sir Stiggles soaking in the mid along with Reilly on the other side. And now we'll see a little bit of contested status here. But ultimately Probe 1 not leaning too heavily into it. Ooh, look out. Crystal going all the way around. Problem is that Jaina is just completely out of mana here. Gonna go all the way back. And that is the curse of all Jainas who elect not to take the level 1 at least, but we do see Arcane Intellect, so there's going to be a little bit of mana return the rest of the game, but if you don't have that mana in the first place, kind of hard to actually proc the return. And meanwhile, here he comes back from being from getting the B and getting that mana back. But Sir Stiggle's going to fly in, really going to make it in here just in time to try to contest, but Crystal not quite staying on the point there. Didn't want to commit to it too heavily. And for right now, Dread Pirate's going to take the first, at least moral victory on their side for this one. Grabbing that camp and actually now getting both shrines back once again. But really, He's really not going to let this one go here in the mid. A poke for days there on the Zarya. It's kind of your perfect person to have contesting in the mid all game. Not to mention has the wave clear to put that pressure in on the lane itself. Kind of an ideal secondary solo laner. You know, up top, we've got matches for the ages. Twin Blades Varian versus Chen. And both of them starting to commit a little bit here. That Mary getting kind of low, but 2 shots going to go in on the Varian. Both of them going to back up for the moment. Down bot, 3v3. The battle rages on. A couple of good sustained healers going back and forth here. Mid heating up a little bit as well. Both members getting kind of low. The poke is good. Oh, the hammer came down and the shield right after. So Stiggle's actually going to walk down and bribe the camp. That's a quick steal away. And Johanna actually here in time to try and make something happen on the escape. But really so low here. Going to have to back away. Actually going to rotate up top. See if maybe they can make anything happen here. Meanwhile, down bot, Red Pirate's trying to take advantage of that positioning. Now we're going to get a little bit of damage, get the gate down there. Taking a little bit of advantage also off of having that camp. See Twin Blades Varian working on that camp down there. Hence the rotation from Zarya. That Mary, good position up here for now. Dives in, but we see the shield in response from Zarya. Oh, but look at the flame breath coming in right as that shield went down. Very well timed. Gotta love to see the little things like that that make a big difference. Meanwhile, camp grabbed in the bot here for Dread Pirates. That's going to be pushing in. And this is going to need to be responded to. They're pushing in with it as well. And they have good siege here with the Gul'dan. So they are going to take the whole front wall and get the well, which is going to be very nice. We do have Johanna on the flank, so 4v3 kind of forced here. Oh, but up top, we see the ults coming out onto Varian with the flight. Big Earth, Wind, and Fire there. Varian goes down. Meanwhile, down bot, things are starting to heat up. Level 10's now out for both squads. See the water elemental going down, trying to slow the retreat from Dread Pirates, but they are going to make it out with pretty healthy health bars, actually. Solid. Meanwhile, up top, Varian going to be returning, as we do see bottom being grabbed here by Dread Pirates. Varian going to see if he can't grab up top. Bat Mary going to be in position to respond to that shortly. Johanna rotating down on the flank once again. So this is going to be a 4v4, and big Blessed Shield to start it. Horrify on the backside actually puts Jaina out of place a little bit with the huge gust. We will see Andrew throwing down the not the Sanct, but the Salvation, I should say. And allowing him to heal everybody up nicely. And both squads will walk away not really any worse for wear, except being down some big heroics. But Jaina does still have Water Elemental. And Ariel still has Crystal Aegis. So, a little bit on each side there. Camp going to be started down bot here for Dread Pirates, while Probe 1 working on the siege. Up top, the solo laner dance continues. But for the moment, that's going to be in favor of Dread Pirates, at least on the points. But Bat Mary going to have to back away eventually. The Twin Blades variant has started to get the better of that exchange. And Gust's going to be used here by Sir Stiggles to go ahead and throw them away. They're trying to get the fort down. It's very, very low, but have they stayed too long? Looks like they are going to be able to make the retreat for now. And the fort stays alive, but just barely. will try and renew their attack here on the bottom shrine. Up top, Bat Mary starting to get the better of the exchange now. Camp going to be started by Sir Stiggles. I think you got one or two of those there with the bribe. Again, here comes the rotation. This is going to be a 4v3, but big whip there from Princess. Able to get Crystal away from being able to make that exchange. And they are able to get the point contested. You do see the expulsion zone cutting off the retreat there for DeLurker, and that is going to be enough. DeLurker not able to make it out of that situation. Will go down. Sir Stiggles, meanwhile, having to burn the gust to get away. Still big stun, big slow. And Probe 1 actually going to go ahead and grab the bottom shrine here, but unfortunately for them, we are going to see top not being available. But look at the rotation here. Now Probe 1 able to march on in and get the camp steal. Very nice heads-up invade by Probe 1. Both teams now level 14. Still haven't seen the Dragon Knight, folks. As we do see the renewed exchange here. No Earth, Wind, and Fire for Bat Mary, so going to have to back away. Does recommit to it, though, but look out, it's Johanna coming in. And the flight from Sir Stiggles, protected status, though. Still gets the variant, but now is in a very bad spot with Jaina rolling in. Going to go ahead and burn the Blessed Shield and make it a 1-for-1 exchange. Down bot, we'll see Dread Pirates go ahead and grab the point on this side of the map, so still no threat of a Dragon Knight, but there's your 1-for-1 as we creep slowly closer to level 16 now for these squads. Slight lead for Dread Pirates, but big wave crashing in mid. They might be able to get to and pick up to kind of even that out a little bit. Camp grabbed as well for Probe 1. That'll be a factor. Big wave in top, though, for Dread Pirates, so bit of a seesaw here in XP. And there it is again. The seesaw back for Probe 1. Right now, both teams kind of trying to equalize. We'll see Sir Stiggles flying down, grabbing the bottom point, though. Well, the gust to stall to attempt to get the point here. Bat Mary able to get a little bit of a cap there, but it is interrupted the first time. But now it's not going to be interrupted the second. And the Dragon Knight, first Dragon Knight of the game, going to be an 11-minute DK. That's going to be pushing in hard into mid. The kick comes out onto Jaina to send most of the counter damage for the Dragon Knight away for the moment. But now, look at the low health bar. Had to wait for the tap there, it looked like. And the kick this time actually not going to find its mark as the unstoppable bubble came out there for Really. And look at the shred there. That Dragon Knight is dead already. That's a ton of siege damage onto that DK. And Probe 1. Very nice defense. Bottom fort, still the only fort that's going to be down after all is said and done. And that was down before the DK was grabbed. 16-16 now. As we do see members of Probe 1 starting to come down, but Bat Mary doing a nice job of zoning. The flight over, though, gonna look for the gust. Oh, but the huge ice block coming in from Jaina, the salvation. The counter as well. The damage comes out big time onto the Earth, Wind, and Fire Chens. What a great counter engage there. That's specifically the play of 2 there from Probe 1. Keeps that from being a disaster. The big ice block and the big salvation. Be able to turn that around. They weren't really able to make anything of it, but they averted disaster. But now they're going to find Really caught out a little bit. Big leap of faith coming in, though, from Perfection. Living up to his surname right now. you see from now, we're going to go ahead and reset. But there's a big push in bottom lane, so the longer Dread Pirates can keep the members of Probe 1 here, the better for them. They can threaten this mid fort while down bot. We've got a big wave just ripping apart the keep front wall. 4 members for Probe 1 going to have to stay here and defend. So then you see Falstad just kind of sneakily run up to the top. Going to get a little bit of extra damage here. Don't mind if I do. Meanwhile, big focus coming down onto Gul'dan. The root comes out there from that 16, but not quite enough to find the kill. The healing is good there from Princes. Keep Gul'dan alive. Dread Pirate's going to quickly jump on their camp and grab that before that can be invaded. However, that is going to give Probe 1 positioning to grab both of these shrines and maybe look to try and recollapse in mid. They're actually trying to get their camp, but look out, Dread Pirates on the invade. Big expulsion zone paired with the leap of faith to grab the camp. That was very nifty. You love to see little things like that. Again, that's the little things that really make me happy. It's very nice to see. Flight up the top here by Sir Stiggles. Gonna go ahead and grab the point back while the Lurker stays in range of interrupting. Now Bat Mary actually gonna get hit by the root, the charge, and all of the damages, and Chen is gonna go down. It almost looked like Earth, Wind, and Fire went on cooldown there. Gul'dan gonna go down as well. Salvation coming out to try and help them push in. And somebody's gonna have to respond. Not only to these lanes, but to the shrines being up here. Gonna be Varian going up top, Johanna bot, and now Probe 1 can maybe look to get their first DK of the game once everybody's able to collapse. But these lanes are still just in disarray right now. The extra push coming in now from the camp up top. And Falstad showing why he's so annoying to deal with on maps like this. Oh, but look out, Sir Stiggles trying to barrel roll out, but there's the Blessed Shield paired this time with that expulsion zone. Gonna actually try to get the flight away, but it's not gonna be enough there after that zoning gust. And just like that, Sir Stiggles goes down. And yeah, this is a bit of a stagger here. Right as we see Gul'dan and Chen coming back in, then we see the fall of Falstad. Just like that, Probe 1 coming back in this one. Gonna be going down bot. They've got Salvation. Expulsion Zone gonna be out here in 2 seconds. They might look to try and find somebody to cut off here in these rotations. The kick comes out. Booting away Gul'dan, most of the anti-siege damage. Meanwhile, big damage coming out on to the keep front wall. This is a 17-minute Dragon Knight, so much more powerful than the last one we saw. And again, Gul'dan going to be just kicked away. The Dragon Knight is starting to take damage, though, down to 44% health. But the Keep also taking a lot of damage here in bot, as we do see Probe 1 trying to open up the game. Salvation coming down as we do see big combo, but the flight to the back, Sir Stiggles looking to gust him in. And after the sleep, we see the big level 20 upgrade on the gust there, keeping him in the corner. But good return damage is perfection, keeping everybody alive. But it's going to be Varian that falls first. He's auto-attacking with all he had, but it was not enough sustain. Leap of Faith going to secure Reely's exit. And just like that, Red Pirates, even though they're on the chase, I don't think they're going to be able to catch up here to Probe 1. They will make it out safely and securely to their own structures. Meanwhile, Dread Pirate's going to try and take advantage by grabbing the point. And I love this call. Sir Stiggles actually split off there. And they get double camp. It's a moment where, you know, if Probe 1 has that information and can take the 4v4, they could do that. But, you know, Sir Stiggles was pretty sneaky in that split off. So you kind of have to, if you're Probe 1, you kind of have to assume they're there as 5. And now they've got double camp here in the push as they are going to try and get the bottom keep on their own side here as they were able to defend theirs from that Dragon Knight push. We do now just now see variants spawning. They get the middle fort while all this is going on. But we do see Varian now back. Salvation going to be popped as they back up just a little bit, but they're horrified to follow it out. Some asleep, some feared. Gusted into the corner. Huge damage coming down on Johanna. Joe falls. Yeah, had taken the Storm Shield instead of Indestructible, so didn't get the second chance at living there. Meanwhile, Keep continues to be chipped away upon, and Dread Pirates looking to try and see if they can't find something here. Flight from Sir Stiggles up to the top. Will barrel roll to grab that point. And Bat Mary, I think, is going to be here before any of the members of Probe 1 can even look to contest. Yeah, they're going to try and jump on bot, but it's too little too late. They can maybe try and get Delurker, but Delurker makes it away. Very, very quick and efficient macro play there from Dread Pirates. And that could be the beginning of the end. We still got 15 seconds before Joe is going to be up. This bottom keep is just a short breath away here. Dragon Knight will get this before it even marches fully into the lane. And now they can look to maybe try and push in to the core. You see the bit of an early pop there, and yeah, it just gets completely annihilated by the Dragon Knight there as the water elemental. Meanwhile, we do have Christy way on the back, trying to make something happen. The DK gets immediately onto the core, and the Gust is trying to zone. The core is starting to get chunked, but the DK is getting pretty low too here. I didn't see the expulsion zone on the back. Sanctification trying to keep him alive. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 and the series going over to the Dread Pirates. GG, well played by both of these squads. Gotta give them both a lot of credit for coming out on a Thursday night, showing us what they got. Easy to get to scare. It would be easy for Probe 1 to be discouraged after that game 1. Dread Pirates played a very complete game, a very well executed match there on Volskaya. But Probe 1 came back here in game number 2. Really gave Dread Pirates a much better game. Won a majority of the team fights, even to the point where they're getting more kills on the board. Just maybe overstayed a little bit too long in bot there. Didn't quite execute on the team fight. And Dread Pirates kind of snowballed it from there. But, thank you very much for the follow. Actually, don't have my Twitch alerts up. Let me bring that up real quick. It was too small to see from that far, far away screen in OBS. Old Man Rigney, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Just in time for the end of our game number 2 here and the series. Let's go ahead and not forget to give Dread Pirates their point here. And let's reach on out to Captain for the Dread Pirates. See if we can't get a quick interview going on here. You guys, since we actually have the stats available this time around, we'll give you guys a look at the stats and the talents to close things out here before we move on to that interview. And I think we'll look to see if we can't pass the stream on to somebody here. We got a couple of other streams still going here tonight. Let's see, it looks like we got an A division match starting up here. Nexus commentaries. Looks like Ziltoid's in the middle of a cast. All kinds of good stuff going on. Like DB Smiley's just finishing up a series. Alright, well, unfortunately, I am not hearing back from Sir Stiggles about an interview. So I think we are just going to go ahead and close it out for the night. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching our Nexus Gaming Series match here. Thanks again to both the teams for putting on a good show for us here tonight. I want to shout out the Patreon here before we get going. So let me go ahead and put that up real quick here. We've got a lot of great rewards over there at the Patreon, so go check it out and see if you will be willing to support here in the NGS. Anything is appreciated and goes towards bettering the league. And I want to thank everybody again for coming out. And until next time, we're gonna send you over to Ziltoid. But until next time, I'm Jayzon. You've been watching NGS, and we'll see you later. Have a good night.